Hello and welcome to my channel. This is my first tactical video on the channel, but as you can see from the thumbnail and from the title, I think that Manchester City has been very poor this season, and I'll go to a tactical part in a second to explain why. But just so that you are aware, in my opinion, the problem is not solely Pep Guardiola. There has been players who did not step up when they needed to, which they will also be blamed during the video. Anyhow, going on to the tactical part. Here you see the formation that we used near the start of the season, which we haven't been using that much right now, but it's important to understand why this formation failed and understanding why we have been poor all season long. Now, before I talk about Doku, let's talk about happier things, such as Kovacic. Kovacic was brought in this season and has been surprisingly good in my opinion. He has allowed Rodri to drive up forward more, which allows him to use his creative ability while De Bruyne was out. And he's just been good. He's kept the ball, he's gone forward, he's gone backwards. Just an excellent player. Not our best player by a long shot, but just good, just solid. Just the type of player that you need while you're in a tough game. Now, on to Alvarez. He's been a great player for us. And while Haaland was out with injury, why is De Bruyne here? That's supposed to be Foden. While Haaland was out for injury, Alvarez was playing up top and then Foden was on the wing with Silva in midfield or the other way around. But when Haaland was in the team, Alvarez was playing midfield. This was a big problem. And I'll explain why as we go forward. So let's take our Manchester City team into the attack. We will usually play out from the back, which our defenders are good at that. But the question is, are our players good at that? Our attackers, rather, should I say. Now, something that I should already note is, Stones was injured in the earlier part of the season. So Akanji was playing in his position, pushing up into midfield, giving Rodri, Kovacic and Alvarez more support, and playing the ball around in the square, trying to emulate what we had with Rodri, De Bruyne, Gundogan and Stones in the treble winning season. However, we also had our wingers going more centrally, which forced our fullbacks to push forwards. And then you can see defensively already. When an opposition team got the ball, we were dead. It was Ruben Diaz against Rest. And you can say, yeah, but Rodri runs back, Akanji runs back, Kovacic runs back. By the time they are back, it's too late. But let's focus on the attack for now. We'll come back to this in a second. Attackingly, our creative players were Foden and sometimes Rodri, but usually Kovacic was more forward pusher than Rodri. So sometimes Rodri, sometimes Foden, and I say sometimes because he was playing on the wing rather than in midfield where he prefers to play. And instead we had in midfield Alvarez, who, okay, he can take a shot, he can take a free kick. That's about all he can do. As a midfield, should I say. He's a great striker, don't get me wrong. He just doesn't do well as a midfielder. So that was our problem in the early part of the season. Or at least one of our problems. The other problem was, of course, this atrocity that we had here. The atrocity of our defense being entirely exposed like this. And Pep is still doing this, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's stay here at the earlier part of the season. Alvarez was not going to create. Doku was not going to create. Foden was not going to create because he wants to be in midfield, but he's being pushed onto the wing. Walker and Ake both don't have that crossing ability that a proper winger does. So our creation was non-existent. First problem that we had in the early part of the season. The second problem was defensively. We were so vulnerable on the counter, it was a joke. They got the ball off of us. One long ball, we were dead. One good long ball, they were through. They were 1v2 against Diaz. Or, usually Diaz, sometimes Akanji or Ake. But usually Diaz. And Diaz has gotten a lot of criticism this season that he has been poor. In my opinion, this is not true whatsoever. He did play some poor games, but mostly it has been the fault of the way we have set up that Diaz has been exposed constantly with no support. Because all our players are going forwards and we lose the ball and we're dead. And why are we forcing our players forwards? Because we do not have creative ability. So we just hope that if we throw numbers at it, that it will work. But then they counter and we are dead. So this is the biggest problem we had in the early part of the season. Alvarez in midfield. And our fullbacks pushing up. This problem fixed itself, however, in a very neat way. Haaland got injured, Alvarez played up top, and Silva came into midfield, rotating with Foden. Sometimes Foden in midfield with Silva on the wing, sometimes the other way around. What did this do for us? It gave us a midfielder who actually is a midfielder. Alvarez is not a midfielder. Foden is, Bernardo Silva is. It gave us midfielders who can create. Well, Silva not as much as Foden, but still. This made us better. And it's not because we are better without Haaland. I think it's the opposite. I think we are better without a coach like Pep, who has the stubbornness to play a striker in midfield constantly, despite knowing it won't work. But he thinks he's smarter than everyone else, so whatever, arrogant prick. Anyhow, going back to the defending, we had our defense, of course, and our midfield. This was probably our best period this season, when we had this starting 11. We were great with this starting 11. Stones came back at some point before Haaland, I think. Yeah, he came back before Haaland, right? I'm trying to think. I think so. So, this is our best point in the season. We looked indomitable. Then De Bruyne came back. And De Bruyne will be playing for Kovacic or for Foden, one of the other. Let's say Kovacic for now. And De Bruyne added that final pass, that creativity that we had been lacking all season long. These moments were our best in the season thus far. And now, you can rotate the players a little bit, but the same basic template remained. Like Oscar Bob will be coming on for Doku, who Doku had a great this season, but let's not open that kind of forums. And that kind of stuff. This is our best point in the season. Why? And oh my god. Why did we change it? Very simple. Haaland came back from injury. And Haaland needs service. Now De Bruyne can't provide that service alone. Haaland can't play a false 9 like Alvarez can. So what does Pep do? Does he change the system to suit Haaland? No. He keeps playing the same system that he does with Alvarez as he does with Haaland. And if you struggle to imagine the problems that you get with that, I'll put it as simply as I can. Alvarez and Haaland are different players. I think Haaland is better. In my opinion, Haaland is the better of the two. In my opinion, if we utilize Haaland properly, we will be unstoppable. But we do not. And let's see what I mean. And Alvarez played as striker. And let's put Foden in midfield, because that was most of this period. And Silva here on the wing. De Bruyne was injured for most of it. And Doc will be on that wing for most of it, but I don't like him there. I think Doc was probably better on the right wing, but Again, let's not talk about Doku too much. I could talk about him for hours. Let's just pretend he doesn't exist. Let's pretend he's just a nameless player. He's one of those FIFA regen cards. So, with this, what we could do is Pep would still push up the wingers, the fullbacks, I mean, to be wingers. But he will do it less, because Alvarez could drop in deep, receive the ball from Foden, play it through, and Foden will be through, or Silva will be through, or Doku will be through, or Kovacic, or whoever. That's what Alvarez did. He was a false 9. That's all he did. He was a false 9. Or we would cross it in from Walker, and then someone would hopefully get onto it. Or we would cross it in from one of the wings. Doku doesn't cross the ball, by the way. He is allergic to that. He is allergic to crossing. And we also had space for Foden in midfield now, because Foden was being played in midfield. And as we have seen this season, Foden in midfield is a great thing. Foden in midfield is a happy time for Manchester City. When Haaland came back, it's changed. First of all, De Bruyne already came back, so we're not playing Foden in midfield anymore, because God forbid. So Silva out of the team. He will be rotating with Foden now. De Bruyne into the team. Haaland back into the team. And now let's look why we were suddenly so poor again. First of all, we have had the same season or the same problem rather, all season long with our fullbacks being so far forward. This has not stopped at any point. We have not stopped being bad in defense at any point this season. We have just had points where we were outscoring the opposition and points where we weren't outscoring the opposition. That is what we got again when Haaland came back. Haaland came back and we played the same false 9 system. But now, Foden is on the wing where he doesn't like playing. Well, he likes playing in general, but where he doesn't prefer playing. He prefers playing in midfield. We're pushing him on the wing again, where his skill set just doesn't suit him. We are playing De Bruyne. Okay, De Bruyne. That's all you need to say. But Haaland is being played as a false 9. And people genuinely go look back at those matches. How Haaland played. He was genuinely playing as a false 9. He wasn't making the runs. He wasn't hoping for the long ball or whatever. He was playing as a false 9. Go watch those games again. He was playing as a false 9. That is shocking to me. What was Pep thinking? I cannot imagine. But it didn't work. You would give the ball to Haaland. And don't get me wrong, he has the quality to keep the ball. He has great hold play. He does not have the quality to consistently pass that ball through to De Bruyne or to Kovacic. So what did he do? He played it back to Diaz or to Rodri or to, well, whoever was behind him. He would not make that forward moving pass that Alvarez made. He would pass it backwards. The false 9 system fails. Okay, what do we do? How do we fix this? Well, maybe you can start playing more direct football, where you cross it into the box more. You just give the ball to De Bruyne and you say, you know what, Kovacic, push up, or you know what, Foden, push up, or all three of you push up, try to get onto the ball. Yeah, Doku, push up, try to get onto the cross. We didn't do that. Okay, are there any other solutions? Yes, we can play very direct football, meaning from our own half, we just play it forward to Haaland, who will keep the ball, and will give it to De Bruyne, as I'll show that when I get all of them back. We can play from Ederson or from a defender, straight to Haaland, and Haaland, he'll give it to De Bruyne. He won't pass it forward, but he'll give it to De Bruyne, or he'll give it to Rodri. And they will move it forward. They'll have some space because we played past their press, we played a high ball, we got past their press. Okay, Haaland can now make the run. You can give him the ball and he's through on goal. Or he'll be 1v2 with a defender, or he'll be 2v2. Whichever the case, it's a far better situation for Haaland than playing false 9. So did we do that? Yes, we did, against Luton. And Haaland scored 5 goals. It's the only game in the season where we did that. Haaland scored 5 goals. I think we scored 6 goals in total. Let me look that up. Go to Manchester City. Yeah, we scored 6 goals in total. And we still conceded 2 goals because we've been poor defensively all season, as I already said, for the same reason all season long. Fullbacks playing as wingers. So I must admit, one of those goals that Luton scored, that you can't do much about that, can you? But against Luton we saw what could be. And we've also seen another point in this season where we saw what could be. And that was against Copenhagen. And that wasn't because we played direct football, but because we played controlled football with Grealish. Oh there. And this is where I can understand what Pep wants to do. He wants to just emulate the treble season, but Grealish is crucial to that system. And he's injured. He played against Copenhagen, immediately got injured. Great. Isn't that just fun? But the time that he played against Copenhagen, he looked amazing. He looked the best player on the pitch against Copenhagen. Not in the world or anything, but just on the pitch against Copenhagen. That game he was amazing. He kept the ball, got our midfield forward, he got them the ball in good positions, he gave them time, he gave everyone time, he let us play controlled football, he controlled the game. And then he got injured. So, Doku again. And Doku can't do what Grealish can. He can't play that controlled football that Grealish can. He can run at the defender perfectly, or not perfectly, but just fine. He can do that. He can dribble past the defender. He can't control the game the way that Grealish can. So okay, do we change our tactics? No. Pep is too stubborn for that. Don't you know? Pep is always right. At least he thinks so himself. That's why we lost the league against Liverpool in the COVID season. Anyhow, let's not digress here. Or let's digress here. We could be playing direct football. Direct football, that suits Doku. When Foden plays in the midfield, it suits Foden. It suits Haaland. But no. We do not play direct football. We push our wingers up so far that they might as well be out of the pitch. And we keep playing Doku. Although in recent games we have played Alvarez and Nunez instead. Still doesn't fix the issue. It fixes just one issue in a heap of issues. Alvarez was great, by the way, against Liverpool. Don't get me wrong. That's one game. Do that for 5 games. Do that for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games before I change my mind. One game, not enough. De Bruyne is injured now too, so okay, we're not going to be playing De Bruyne. So, Gloria, maybe we'll finally get Foden in midfield now. Let's pray. So, who will we be playing then? Probably Silva or Doku on the right wing. Because Doku is a right winger, by the way. Many people don't seem to realize that. We are playing him out of position. Absolutely brilliant. And we have better players to play on the left as well. Anyhow. We can play this way. In a 4-3-3. Or 3-4-3, I suppose. These are the ways that we can play. We need to fix our defensive issue by not pushing Walker up as much. By not pushing Ake up as much. This will give Diaz more protection. Our midfield, just fine. Don't worry about this midfield. Either De Bruyne or Foden has to be in that midfield though to give us that creativity. Not Silva, not Alvarez. Foden or De Bruyne. And lastly, we need to play direct football. So, to concretely summarize what the problem has been for Manchester City this season is they have played a system that does not suit our players. Playing a false 9 system with a pure striker, playing a controlled system when the key player for that system was injured and playing their best player of the season, Foden, out of position. Those three issues are why Manchester City have been poor this season. Why we have been poor this season. But the season is not over yet. So let me be optimistic. Tomorrow we have a game against Newcastle. We should win it because Newcastle is bad, but we have lost against them in the Carabao Cup. Come on, my chair is stuck. There you go. Then we play against Brighton, but that's postponed. I don't know when that will be. I think that will probably be somewhere in April. Like near the end of it, or near the start of April, I don't know. So April looks stacked too. Yeah, when will that game be? That might be. It might not be until May that we play that game. That's actually a big wow. So maybe we can play it at the end of March. I don't know. That's the Premier League's problem to decide. But yes, we play against Brighton away, Arsenal at home, Aston Villa away, at home, Crystal Palace away, Luton Town at home, Tottenham away, Forest away, Wolves at home, Fulham away, and West Ham at home. I think all of those games are winnable. We do have to worry about the fact that we have Champions League in between as well, and FA Cup games. But I think Manchester City, if we play direct football, we win all 10 of our games. Our biggest worries, we have 3 big games to worry about, and they are all right together. Brighton, Arsenal, Aston Villa. Brighton is a tough place to play away against. Arsenal, well, it's Arsenal, and Aston Villa, who have been great this season and who have beaten us already. And we were absolutely toothless against them. Now, why do I say that Tottenham away isn't a big game, by the way, for us? It is, but I think we will win. The curse has been broken. Apparently it was Kane curse, because as soon as Kane leaves, we win, and he stops winning trophies with Bayern München. I digress. Tottenham plays completely different football now. They play attacking, controlling football. When they played against us at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and they won, it was because they sat deep and counter-attacked. They do not play like that anymore. They will lose. I do not see them winning. I do not see them beating City at their own game. So Tottenham, for me, we must win that. We must win all 5 of our last games, because it's against Tottenham, who I think we should beat, and against 4 weaker teams. Then Luton, it's Luton, so our last 6 games we should definitely win. Then Crystal Palace. My English is very great today. Then Crystal Palace, also a team that we should beat. Crystal Palace, where are they in the league right now? I think they're like 14th, aren't they? Yeah, 14th. I know the league. They are 14th in the league right now. We should be. Brighton is going to be a difficult one. So Brighton has been in poor form this season. So they did beat Roma 1-0. They are still out of the competition. Yeah, they've been in a lackluster form, let's put it like that. And they are 8th. Not as good as last season. Last season they were 7th, or 6th? 6th, I think. Yeah, 6th. Then our 2 biggest games, Arsenal and Aston Villa. Arsenal at home is not going to be an easy game. Many City fans seem to be confident. I am completely unconfident in this team right now. If we play direct football, if we stop trying this obsessive thing with controlled football and we play some direct football, we keep our fullbacks back, I do not see how Arsenal is going to score, because they might have scored the most goals this season. They haven't played against any good defenses this season, because they simply aren't. The Premier League doesn't have good defending anymore. I'm sorry to say. I watched football in a time when clubs knew how to defend. Nowadays we don't. It's all attack, attack, attack. Anyhow, rant aside, Arsenal, I don't see how they score against us. Because they like to score from build-up. They like to control the game, pass the ball around. They don't like direct football. I don't see how they score against us. Because we just keep our fullbacks back and we play direct football. We force them into direct football. We press them high. I think we win. However, I do not think we play that way. Because Pep... excuse me. My apologies. Because Pep is very persistent with his way of playing the game. So, we probably don't play this direct football. Arsenal at home, it's probably a coin toss. Because we're going to give them a lot of room. We're gonna let them play the way they like to play. And we're going to try to outplay them. And we're just not that good at the moment. And the only saving grace is that this is at the Etihad. Because if this was at the Emirates, we would be ready for a big defeat. I tell you that. But since it's at the Etihad, I favour Manchester City ever so slightly. Aston Villa should win. They have dropped off. They are still a tough opponent. And I went over the rest already. We shall beat them. So, if we do that, I think we still win the Premier League. Because Liverpool, I think they are going to drop at least points somewhere. And of course, if we beat Arsenal, we go above them. So, I don't think Liverpool is going to go perfect. I think Manchester City has a better chance of winning the last cent than Liverpool has. Especially since Liverpool still has a derby left, which people seem to not value enough. Look up the stats on that derby, by the way. Liverpool are going to need to pull out their best performances there, or else they're done. They're gonna draw or lose at Goodison Park. Is it at Goodison Park? I think it is. Everton. It is, yeah? Yeah, it is at Goodison Park. So, Liverpool, I don't see them winning 10 on a spin. Arsenal, if we beat them, we go above them. So if we win 10 on a spin, we probably win the league. I do not see us winning the league. Because I do not trust Pep to change the tactics that have already been proven not to work. That is how stubborn Pep likes to be. So going back to the formation and my conclusion for this video. Why has Manchester City been poor this season? Because Pep Guardiola has stubbornly kept with a system that doesn't work. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching my video. If you're interested in this kind of content, you should consider liking and subscribing to my channel.